Hello.
Hello, Kickstarter chums. We just thought you'd like a bit of an update on where we are with little old Monty. Well, the good news is we're getting on with loads of stuff. Things are moving forward on most of the Monty fronts. For example, Ethan Uslan has just recorded all the music for 3 of the shorts: Camping Out, Bells of Liberty, and Cleaned and Dry. In fact, shall we have a little bit of Cleaned and Dry? Can we do that? Yeah. Fab, huh? Thanks, Ethan. Fantastic. And Omar, Meg and Donald are all working on the other scores as we speak. John Bankston has been like a little kid in a toy shop, because every time I've sent him another Monty film, he's fallen off his chair in delight at the scenic wonders within. In fact, he's putting together not one of his special silent location presentations, not 2 of his special silent location presentations, but 6.
How many, Dave?
6 separate video insights into the location work used in the various Marvellous Monty films so far. Fantastic, John. Thank you so much. Brilliant. There is some slightly not so great news, though, and that's that we're still waiting for Attaboy and 3 other shorts to arrive from the scanning labs at the archive that can't be named. All right, then, Library of Congress. Wow, sorry, it's out of our hands. But this means that there will be a slight delay to our deadline, I'm afraid, which was due to be January. Hopefully the scans will be arriving soon and the delay won't be too long. But hey, the good news is that the extra time is being spent on making the set of films even more splendid. For example, I've just completed the mountain of restoration work for the jewel of the collection, Play Safe. So I thought you'd like a little peek behind the scenes, and in case you've forgotten the story so far, here's a bit of a recap.
Parking and action!
I knew the Library of Congress had the only complete print of Play Safe, about 5 reels worth, which had come from Australia. However, once we received the scan of their beautiful nitrate positive print, we found it was a bit choppy in places, especially at the end and the start of each reel, which is common. And it was obviously missing some big chunks of footage. There were no main titles for the start. The beginning of the film was missing, and so was the end. So that was a bit of a shame, but I knew there was a 2-reel cut down called Chasing Choo-Choos, and this contained some scenes that we needed for our restoration, about 4 minutes worth of bits and pieces in total. And our good friend Serge Bromberg in Paris kindly scanned his 16mm fine grain for us to use, which, as you can see, was a little unsteady, so it needed quite a bit of careful stabilising, but that was good. And according to the FIAF website, that was it. Nobody else had any more footage from the film. But I was chatting to Tamara at Goss Filmafond about this project, and she said,
"Hey Dave, I think we may have a copy of Play Safe. Let me have a look."
And sure enough, she found a 3-reel cut down, which had a soundtrack, and it was from Japan, but she compared the prints and found that there were a couple of significant scenes that were unique. Yeah! So we managed to get those scanned and sent over. As you can see, that footage is a little bit... So that needed a bit more scrubbing than normal, but my friend Joe Harvat in the US helped with that. Now, the whole restoration process is a very personal thing. Some people like to go at it hard and make the film look like it was shot yesterday, and that's fine, but personally I like a lighter touch. I want to keep the look of film, the grain and a few scratches, the little white dots you get, as long as they're not a distraction from what's going on in the film. And there were big black dots and blotches and bad edits that would appear regularly in all the prints, as well as this sort of thing, which is sometimes a little hard to remove with software, so I managed to create masks and blend in 2 elements of the film to make it whole again. And I also felt that in the quieter scenes, the more intimate scenes with less action going on, the blobs and the marks were a little bit more noticeable, so that's where I spent a little bit more time making those scenes look better. So we thought that was it, that there won't be any more footage on the planet Earth for us to use. And in the meantime, I'd remembered that there was a 9.5mm version. If you don't know, 9.5 was a little gauge created for the public to watch films in their home. And this was issued back in the late 1920s on 4 little 60-foot cassettes. So I found one on eBay and thought, hey, this will be a cool extra to have on the finished Blu-ray, you know, the 10-minute cut-down version on 9.5. Now, it arrived just a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
And when I started scanning the first reel, I found that there was a whole chunk of the missing footage from the very start of the film. And after scanning the 4 little reels completely, I found another couple of missing scenes too. As you can see, the starts of these little 60-foot cassettes can sometimes be a bit wrinkly and damaged, so this needed quite a bit of work in the stabilising department. Do you remember that Japanese print we were talking about from Goss Filmathon with the soundtrack running down the left side?
Yes.
And that's actually covering up a big chunk of the picture. They used to just throw a soundtrack onto these films. Yeah, you know, just cover up the picture, no one will know. So I managed to blend that footage with the new 9.5 footage to make the picture whole again. It's only for a short scene, but hey, it made me happy. But even after doing all these things, you still can't help but notice when it goes from beautiful 35mm nitrate to grotty 9.5mm. So you have to excuse the obvious changes in quality now and again. But we all thought it was best to include every scrap of footage we could, just to try and make the film as complete as possible. So it's big thanks to Goss Filmathon and all of the other archives and friends. Dave, shut up a minute. I've just had a news flash come in the last few moments. Emil in Finland has sent through the new title cards. Yeah, oh, beautiful. Because the film didn't have any, if you remember. Great job, Emil. And another bit of good news, not only is Meg Morley composing the score for Play Safe as we speak, but we've also asked Donald Mackenzie to create an original score too, because we thought his organ score for Monty's thrilling film would be jolly fun to have as well. So that means that when you get the Blu-ray, you can enjoy that particular film twice. So thanks again for your support. I'll be back in a few weeks with another update on the progress so far.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mountains of Monty thanks. Bye.